by Prevagen, made for your brain. And by Wintrust. Different approach, better results. That's Wintrust. Visit wintrust.com/here to learn more. Welcome inside the ballpark. A beautiful day. The sun is shining here at the rate. White Sox a chance to win this series, and this man gets the ball. Davis Martin, he has been so good this season, especially his last outing. A career-high 10 strikeouts. Looking to keep it rolling here on this Sunday afternoon in Chicago. What is up, everybody? Welcome inside the booth alongside my guy. He is Steve Stone. I'm John Schriff, and it's a special day because we get to celebrate all the moms in our life. Happy Mother's Day to all of you out there, especially my mom, Cassandra. I love you. Thank you for everything you've done for me. We are also excited because Davis Martin gets the ball. He has emerged early on as the ace of this staff here for the White Sox. He is also emerging as one of the best pitchers in Major League Baseball.
Well, it's hard to believe that he's had a great outing just about every outing he's had this year, and that's a radical departure from years past. The kick change has been magnificent, and Davis Martin has been equally as good. He sits number 2 on ERA leaders. As you can see, that's an elite crew. He's getting everything over the plate. The most important thing is he is getting ahead, and then he can wipe them out with an assortment of pitches, and they've all been right where he wants them to be. Hopefully this continues. By the way, his odds for winning the Cy Young Award, 6,500 to 1. So if you get a feeling, and the way he's pitching, that's a good feeling, you can lay a bob or two on him.
Yesterday it was fun at the ballpark. We saw some glove work. We saw some home runs leave the yard. Montgomery, Vargas twice. It sets up today. The series on the line. First pitch is next. Ace of the staff for the White Sox brings them onto the field as Davis Martin takes on the Seattle Mariners in the finale of this 3-game set. This Mariners won Game 1 on Friday night. White Sox took Game 2 last night, and here is the decider. He has been on some kind of roll on the mound. This is the lineup that he will face. It is the Mariners. Brendan Donovan leads things off. Julio Rodriguez, he has been on a tear. Josh Naylor, Cal Raleigh bats in the cleanup spot. Rosarena, Rayleigh Crawford, Cam Zone, and Cole Youngs at second.
There's a look at Davis Martin on for his 8th start, the ERA of 1.64. He's thrown a total of 44 innings, and look at the command. 43 strikeouts, just 8 walks, and right now he's among the elite in baseball. Hopefully more the same today. This is how he's going to use his stuff. His 4-seamer at 26%. Backed up by the kick change, which is outstanding at 17%. Then the cutter, the sinker, the slider, and a few curveballs. So he uses a lot of different pitches at a lot of different speeds, but the key is he's throwing strike one consistently. We'll take a look at the defense and how they line them up behind Davis Martin. It's Sam, Tristan, and Jared in the outfield left to right with Miguel, Colson, Chase, and Munetaka. Drew Romo's got the plate today. We told you about Davis Martin, who wants to continue on a roll. The weather is presented by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, Plumbing, and Electric. 59 degrees, feels like 54. Humidity, not up there today, only 38%. And the wind, it's a factor, but it's blowing in right toward the dugout of those Mariners. Home plate belongs to Shane Livensparger.
Beautiful day for baseball. First pitch, it is drilled into center field. Peters calls for it. 1 pitch, 1 out. Excellent start for Davis Martin here today. One thing you will notice on this Mother's Day around Major League Baseball, a lot of people, a lot of the players will be wearing some form of pink, whether that be a pink bat, batting gloves, socks, or wristband. It is to support breast cancer awareness and bring more attention to the cause and raise money to fight for the moms in our lives.
Rodriguez is starting to heat it up. Had a couple of hits yesterday, was on base 3 times, and he's one of the big men in the middle. If he starts heating it up, this offense is going to get red hot. Outfield playing a shade to the right of center field.
Last time we saw Davis Martin on the mound, it was Monday in Anaheim. Blanking the Angels, White Sox got a 6-0 win, 10 strikeouts, setting a career high. He has just really refined his arsenal this year.
Well, he's got supreme confidence in all of his stuff, and the fact is he can throw every pitch he has with any count. When you feel like that on the mound, you're going to show an aggressive posture toward the hitter and get on top, which he's done twice in 2 hitters.
This one hit hard and into left field. And Tanachi, he will try and cut it off, goes off his glove to the wall. But Julio Rodriguez will stop at second. A 1-out double.
We told you that he was heating it up, and he crushes this ball. And Tanachi has some problems with it. Bear in mind, he's still a second baseman playing left field, but he's doing a pretty good job of it, and he had a good game yesterday defensively.
Here's the man who continues to make a dent against the White Sox, Josh Naylor. Shatters that pink bat as the ball rolls foul.
It's going to make a very colorful cricket bat.
Saw a lot of the guys in the tunnel before the game working on those bats, because that's your tool when you're a hitter. So guys were taping them up, working on getting the feel, figuring out which bat felt the best out of the box.
And you know, look, for hitters, they can tape their bats, they can use different handles, they can certainly use sticky stuff as much as they want. I personally believe it's unfair. You don't let pitchers use it, you can't let hitters use it, but they seem to think that keeping your hands on the bat is very important.
Well, also the hitters can have all the pink stuff on. They can have the wristbands and all that stuff, but the pitcher, you can't have anything distracting when you wear it on the mound.
Get nothing, and you see Naylor doesn't have any padding on the lead elbow. But he is very quick inside. If you're going inside to him, you better get it way in.
Good pitch from Davis Martin.
Like right there.
Ooh.
Inside. We'll take another look at it. He hits the spot. That's on the corner. Well located at 94 miles an hour, and Naylor just swings through it.
0-2. Good block by Drew Romo, keeps the ball in front and keeps Rodriguez at second.
That was pretty good technique, because Romo didn't try to catch it. He got in front. You angle the body. You lean forward with it, so when the ball hits you, it just trickles away.
That one gets away from Romo as Rodriguez advances to third.
We'll see if it's a pass ball, and it appears it's something that he should have been able to handle.
It is indeed ruled a pass ball, as Naylor now having a conversation with Shane Leibensparger. Maybe he's questioning if he got potentially hit.
Well, he runs it inside. It does not look like it hit any part of him or the bat.
So it is ruled a wild pitch. Two balls, 2 strikes, the count. You can see the intention from Davis Martin trying to continually go inside on Naylor.
It's really a good time for that kick change out away. He's shown him a lot of pitches inside in this at bat. You get Naylor looking inside for something, and that's when you can get him to expand his zone away.
Naylor in his career at right field in 31 games, hitting .372 with 8 home runs, 29 runs batted in. 3-2.
You got Raleigh in the on-deck circle. He's been struggling mightily.
Raleigh 0 for last 29, waits on deck.
Well, with Raleigh, he is a much more powerful hitter from the left side, where you figure he gets more at bats, as the preponderance of starters in baseball are right-handed.
Eighth pitch of the at bat coming up here. Naylor just nicking it to keep his at bat alive.
Davis is intent on tying him up inside.
Here's pitch number 9. And he lost him, ball 4. And it's time for our live lines presented by Circa Sports. Sports betting the way it should be. We take a look at our over-under for Davis Martin strikeout total today. Steve, do you like the over or the under?
I'll always take the over. Especially the wind is blowing in. You have a tendency to try to throw more strikes and challenge hitters.
So here is Cal Raleigh. Comes up empty with that first swing. Last year's American League runner-up in the MVP race. But this season it has been completely different. 0 for his last 29. And they've moved him around in the batting order. First time batting cleanup this season.
Well, he's had an oblique problem. That's really been plaguing him, especially when he swings right-handed. And a couple times when he checked his swing in this series, you could almost see him wince. So he's still feeling the effects, but he's good enough to be out there every day.
We saw him catch in game 1 of the series, back behind the plate today.
This is out of the zone, didn't miss by much, but it did miss.
I will say the crew of this series, the umpires, have been really good, especially behind the plate, calling balls and strikes. And I wonder if ABS is really helping the umpires this season really define and refine their zone.
Well, it used to be you could get 1.5 inches off the outside corner. Now you really don't want to go there, because number one, if it's called a strike, it's going to be challenged, and number two, you're usually not getting that strike like you used to.
2-2. Good pitch. First strikeout for Davis Martin.
It looks like a high cutter. Catches the top of the zone. Raleigh gives up on it. Doesn't have to do much. Just the hitter sees the spin. He thought it was high. It wasn't. It was in the zone.
A fielder, Randy Arozarena. That's a guy who never gets cheated with his swings.
He's had a good series, and he's very strong.
That one is hit back up the middle. So Julio Rodriguez will come in to score. And Peter slips. The ball gets past him, so both runners advance. And the Mariners get on the board first, leading it 1-0.
It's going to be base hit, run batted in, and E8. He throws a fastball away, but good plate coverage by Arozarena. Then Peters has some problems. That puts another 2 in scoring position. Been a little shaky defensively early in this game.
Tristan Peters has been one of the best defenders on this team, so you're not used to seeing that from him.
This becomes a very big out. Not only did Raley hit a grand slam and a 3-run homer in this series, however, if you can get him out and limit it to 1 run, it will be a job well done.
The hope is that he cooled off a bit, because he did that in game 1 of the series on Friday with a lefty going for the White Sox yesterday. Mariners decided to sit Raley. So his first game since a career high 7 runs batted in on Friday night.
And both of those home runs were hit pretty hard. The grand slam especially hard.
2 balls and a strike. Well, clearly you've got Raley in swing mode here. What are you doing if you're Davis Martin?
Probably another high fastball. Keep it out away.
Goes down, gets the swing and a miss. Strike 3. When we come back, the bats to the plate, including Miguel Vargas. 2 home runs last night.
And I attend McKinley School in Ottawa. The White Sox manager is Will Venable. Leading off is Sam Antonacci. Batting second is Mooney. Hitting third is Miguel Vargas. The next batter is Colson Montgomery. Batting fifth is Chase Mygroff. Next is Jared Kelenic. Batting seventh is Tristan Peters. Hitting eighth is Randall Grichuk. Batting ninth, Drew Romo. Let's go Sox!
Vivian, nicely done. Thank you, CQ, for the assistance there. Love getting the kids involved here on Kids Day, and a special happy Mother's Day as well.
You certainly want to attack the first pitch because Gilbert throws a lot of strikes. 68% of first pitches are in the strike zone.
Sam Antonacci leads things off for the White Sox. In 5 games as the leadoff hitter, batting average of .294, 2 walks, 2 hit by pitch, and a stolen base. Another hit by pitch in the ballgame last night. We are seeing a trend that has continued from what he did in the minors.
We'll take a look at Logan Gilbert. This is his 9th start. The ERA 4.30. Doesn't walk many people, and he does strike out a whole lot of hitters.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Antonacci was hit 35 times in the minors last season. He's already been hit 7 times this season. That leads American League batters.
Well, he knows he's a table setter, and he's going to get on any way he can. Thing is, when you go inside, there's some guys that rush to get out of the way. Sam is not one of those guys. Seemingly does not mind getting hit. He's got a padded up lead elbow, but his job is to get on base for the bangers in the middle.
1-2. Swing and a miss. Strike 3.
We'll take a look at the defense and how Dan Wilson lines them up today with a Rosarena, Rodriguez, and Raley in the outfield left to right. Then it's Donovan, Crawford, Young, and Naylor. Cal Raleigh's got the plate, and we told you about Logan Gilbert.
There is the big bat in the lineup. Munetaka Murakami came into play today, tied with Aaron Judge for 15 home runs to lead Major League Baseball. But Judge has hit number 16 today, so Murakami now sits in 2nd place.
He's got big power to all fields, but today if he can pull it, the wind will help him. The wind is blowing toward the right field corner.
As long as you continue to be mentioned in the same sentence as Aaron Judge, you know you are doing elite things in the game. 0-2 to Murakami.
And one of the best things he's done this series is hit the ball out of the park the opposite way, because that'll go into scouting reports. He said before he's trying to pull most everything and will use straightaway center, but he hit a home run to left center on a night that wasn't all that lively.
Well, Logan Gilbert, a couple strikeouts to start this home half of the first inning.
Good breaking curveball. This one just dips out of the zone.
Here is the hottest bat in the lineup, Miguel Vargas. 2 home runs in the game. White Sox with the victory over the Mariners last night. And they weren't cheapies. Miguel Vargas, when he gets it, he gives it a ride.
He had a big night last night. Things going very well for him recently.
Here's the second multi-home run game of his career. And over the last 18 games, he's hitting .313. Hits this one well to left field. Arozarena looking up. It's off the wall. Now the fireworks have gone off, but it is still in play. Everybody thought it was gone, but it is a 2-out double for Miguel Vargas.
This double is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai, home of the 20-year, 200,000-mile double warranty.
You don't see the fireworks go off.
No, that's a breaking ball that actually backed up. Miguel gets most of it. We told you the wind is blowing against this. That's the only thing kept this in the park. Arozarena gave up on it. It hit the bottom of the wall, but it was a rocket.
Maybe the fireworks just a preview of what's to come for Colson Montgomery, who's in the box.
Colson can go the other way, but he prefers to pull the ball. Gets one up in the air to right. Probably going to be 2-1 Sox.
Ooh, a little chin music to Montgomery, ball 1.
One of the problems this year with Gilbert is that he has thrown a lot of home runs. He came in right around 44 innings. He had given up 8 home runs previously. That was almost the 9th.
Montgomery with a home run last night, his 10th of the season. He has now extended his on-base streak to a career high 21 games. As Colson Montgomery is really locked in at the plate right now. Vargas stays at second.
At this point, not much of an advantage of risking getting thrown out and taken out of the inning. You want Colson to continue this at bat. So Vargas stayed right there.
Sox looking to tie this game here in the first inning. Three-two, and it catches the corner, called strike 3. All the players are celebrating a very special Mother's Day as Miguel Vargas walking with his mom onto the field. Colson Montgomery catching that first pitch. Tristan Peters, 2-month-old baby girl, and Davis Martin with his family. Everyone enjoying a special Mother's Day edition.
Have great news regarding Kyle Teel. We were just told that he's going to begin his rehab assignment in Charlotte on Tuesday. This is big news because we haven't seen him all season long as he's been recovering from that hamstring injury. Will Venable and Chris Getz said the last few days have been huge, just seeing how he's recovered from and how he feels physically, you guys. And Walker McKibben even told us earlier in this game that He's a huge part of this team. They feel like he has a high ceiling. He feels like he's the most athletic catcher in this entire league. We know the impact that he can have at the plate and behind the dish. So to have him back, hopefully soon, guys, this is big news for the White Sox.
Really looking forward to Kyle Teel and his energy back in this lineup for the Chicago White Sox.
And from a physical standpoint, he can hit home runs. He can also help shut down a running game.
Is J.P. Crawford leading things off for the Mariners here in this second as the White Sox trail 1-0. Top two this half inning is brought to you by Wintrust. Davis Martin really took his game to the next level midway through his first start of the season in Miami. He was getting hit a little bit and realized he's had to keep going after guys and stop trying to be too fine. Ever since that first start of the season in Miami, his last 6 starts, an ERA of 1.16, and has allowed 2 runs or fewer in all 6 of those starts.
Well, the saying goes, you have to trust your stuff. And as he has gotten better, there's more trust in all of his pitches, and he feels he can throw any pitch at any time.
There was a good pitch right there. Strikeout number 3.
It was a good moving fastball. You see this one started out down the middle and then wended its way to the outside corner.
I really enjoyed the conversation we had yesterday where you told us about your focus and being locked in on the mound. And it really is amazing how when you change your mind, just how effective and how much the rest of your game can change with it.
But look, if you're going to be in this league for a while, odds are overwhelming. You're not going to get any taller. You're not going to get much stronger. And the one thing you do have is your mind. And if you can harness that, you're going to be a much better pitcher. And so you do whatever you can. And now we're in an era where every team has some mental coaches for these guys. Davis Martin, 16 consecutive starts with 3 earned runs or fewer. That's really good.
Davis Martin's also matured a little bit. 29 years old. He's been through a lot after suffering Tommy John surgery, now in his 4th season. And he has emerged into one of the clubhouse leaders.
I think Davis would tell you today he doesn't have his great stuff. And that's what makes a pitcher in the major leagues. Learning how to win with less than your best. He's in the process of doing just that.
Tapper to the right side. It is Murakami waiting on it. And he touches the bag himself for out number 2. What tells you, or what have you seen so far from Davis Martin that shows he's just maybe not his sharpest?
Looks to me like some of the breaking balls aren't quite what they were last time out. I mean, last time out was an enchanted outing. You strike out 10, you don't walk anybody. That's really good. You can't have that kind of stuff each and every day. And a pitcher will know right away if the fastball is electric or if he's going to have to do something else. One of the things he's done today, and he missed that one, but one of the things he's done today very well, and last time out the same way, is throw strike 1. Sets up a defensive as opposed to an offensive at bat.
Facing second baseman Cole Young. Cole Young in his 2nd season having a breakout year for the Mariners.
One of the things they asked of him was shore up your defense, and right now he's playing a great second base.
He has started second base every single game this season for the Mariners, and that's really what organizations are looking for out of young players. Can you be durable? Can you post and play every single day now?
Gives the manager a lot of confidence if he knows each and every day he can write the same name down at whatever position you choose.
To Murakami, with Davis Martin covering the bag. A quick 1-2-3 second inning as the White Sox trail 1-0.
Let's get to news and notes. Mason Miller with a rare but not impossible 4-strikeout inning. The Padres closer got the save for the Cardinals, Padres as they beat the Cardinals. Byron Buxton's got 13 home runs, did it all by himself for the Twins last night. Addison Barger returned from the IL yesterday, unleashed a howitzer from the outfield, over 100, a StatCast record. He was actually pulled from the lineup today, guys, with right elbow soreness. Hopefully it's not that big of an issue for a guy who's got an absolute cannon out in right for the Blue Jays.
All right, thank you so much. Some other big news around Major League Baseball. Carlos Rodon making his season debut for the Yankees. He's recovering from surgery to remove a bone spur from his left elbow last October. So huge lift for the Yankees.
And the Yankees don't really need him right now, but they could certainly use him because when he's right, he's among the toughest to hit in baseball.
Bottom of the second, White Sox trail the Mariners 1-0 as Chase Mydroth leads things off. Went around the clubhouse today asking a lot of guys to talk about their mothers. So Chase Mydroth wants to wish his mom, Cynthia, a happy Mother's Day. He said she was always so hard on him, focusing on his academics as well as baseball. And he said the key that she always instilled in me was to believe in myself and go after my dream. And he said, if not for her, I would not be a major leaguer right now.
I think a lot of guys fall into that category. Great support from their parents or parent. And it's invaluable along the way.
Mydroth goes down swinging here, one away in the second inning.
That's 4 strikeouts from Gilbert. Every one of his outs have been one of these. This is supposed to break. It's not supposed to back up. It does, and Chase just swung through it.
Jared Kelenic getting another start in right field here today for the White Sox. Wants to wish his mother Lisa a happy Mother's Day today. Said, what I've learned from my mom is the art of putting your head down and grinding and going to work. She always worked growing up, and he said she started a new career. His parents now own an independent baseball team in Wisconsin right outside of Milwaukee. And he said he hasn't been able to pay too close attention to it, but he gets reports from his dad, and he said his mom is so engaged, pays so much attention to detail, help running that club. And he said he is so proud of his mom and everything that she does.
That's kind of a nice story, and independent baseball is pretty entertaining most of the time.
And the air to center field, Rodriguez drifting back. And there's 2 away here in this second inning. On this Mother's Day, join Major League Baseball and our partners in the fight against breast cancer. Visit MLBtogether.com/Mother's Day to learn more.
First thing that Peters is going to do is take a look at the corners. So he'll find out that Donovan at third is in on the grass. That pretty much takes away the bunt that way. On the other side of the diamond, Naylor is way back at first.
Tristan Peters wants to wish his mother, Gabby, a happy Mother's Day. Said he played all different types of sports growing up in Canada. Obviously baseball, but also soccer, volleyball. She loved watching all those sports. The one sport that he watched that he played that she would not watch, hockey. Did not like her son getting hit. But he said he's so grateful that she was so involved in all of his sports growing up and let him follow his passion, and eventually sticking with baseball.
Yeah, pretty much if you don't like hockey and you're a Canadian, they throw you out of the country.
You better like hockey and you better like poutine.
Yeah.
Are you a poutine guy?
No, pea meal bacon.
I haven't had that. Okay.
It's lovely.
All right. Tristan Peters' wife Erin also is a new mother. They celebrated the birth of their daughter Elaine a couple months ago. So wishing his wife Erin a happy first Mother's Day. And it was cool going on in the clubhouse talking to all these guys about the important women in their life, because you get a chance to talk about something other than the game and you can just see their face light up. How many people are in their life who mean so much, able to keep their dream alive of playing big league baseball. 2-2.
Well, the thing is that at 8, 9, 10, you don't usually own a car. So the folks have to take you to all your practices and all of your games, and that kind of support. I remember my father would say to me, "You're going to be the best pitcher to ever come out of South Euclid-Lyndhurst." And I said, "But there's Bill Byrne and Roy Shapiro and whatever." He goes, "No, you're going to be the best." Now, whether he believed that or not, he was instilling confidence in me.
Jose Lahair, first base coach, hopping over that one.
And now they're keeping coaches more than ever in the coach's box. We'll watch it again. This one is a rocket. He's got some hops.
Yes, he does. Nicely done.
Yeah, because that was a knee burger heading right his way.
2 balls, 2 strikes. Did he go? He did not. That is Mark Ripperger on the call at third.
We'll look at it from the side. That call could have gone either way. It went Peter's way.
3-2. Dots the corner, called strike 3.
Kay played a huge part in the Sox win last night, going 5 strong, only allowing 2 walks, and he joins me now. Anthony, great to see you. What was working so well for you right out of the gate, and how you were able to stay in command?
Yeah, I went to the sinker and sweeper a lot early on. I think, just getting ahead and, just being really aggressive with those guys and getting a good counts for pitchers really helped.
Good thing I'm doing this interview this inning. I would have gotten smoked. Wow, we appreciate you. Okay, finish your thought.
I don't even remember what I was saying.
Okay, well, you were using, I think, every bit of your arsenal last night. You were talking about the sinker and the sweeper, but the changeup, how did that open things up for you?
Yeah, that was really good also late in the count. Got a couple strikeouts with it early on, and then I think, it was able to open up a lot of stuff inside.
You were talking about making adjustments from your start before that to last night, and you actually moved where you were standing on the rubber. How did that play for you, especially against righties?
Yeah, I moved over probably like 6 inches towards the first base side. I think, it just creates a weirder angle for them to for me to, throw to them inside, and it helps with the changeup also. I think overall it just creates a weirder release point for them.
Mentally, just where are you at right now as you feel like you're continuing to get stronger and more confidence on the mound?
Yeah, really good. Obviously, there's still a lot of room to grow and continue to get better. Hopefully can get a little bit deeper in some of these games. But for now, yeah, I'm just going to keep doing my best to throw up some zeros and, put the team in good position to win.
Okay, it is Mother's Day. And so is there a favorite memory with your mom growing up when you played baseball?
When you asked me that, you were going to ask me this, I went inside and texted my siblings about it. And of course they wanted me to share the embarrassing stories of my mom, but
we love embarrassing stories.
I'm gonna spare her here, and she was there every step of the way, and taking me to all the practices and games, and so just forever grateful for all the hard work that she put in to be able to help me achieve this.
What kind of mom was she in the stands? Was she like getting into it? Was she yelling at the umps, or was she kind of more reserved? Because my mom was the one that would yell at the ump.
She was always cheering for me, and obviously, at Little League games, you can hear everything, and I didn't like it because obviously I could hear her and it would distract me a little bit. So I would always tell her after the game, like, you got to stop cheering for her, like do it quietly. And, obviously she continued to yell, but, I kind of found a way to zone it out.
I love that. She just loves you, just showing her support. Give her a little shout out here.
Thanks for everything, Mom. Love you.
All right. Thanks, Anthony.
Thanks.
Guys, back to you.
We love that. Good wholesome content. Thank you, Brooke. Thank you, Anthony K. Getting back on track. We talked about him moving over to the first base side of the rubber, and that angle really helped him out.
Well, he was very good last night, especially with the straight change. You go 5 innings, don't give up any earned runs, and strike out 5, you're getting the job done. Then he handed over to the bullpen. You hope you have a lead. That's exactly what happened. Kay threw well, and the guys who came in behind him out of the pen had a very good night.
With the way this rotation is shaping up, Anthony Kay was a big piece that the White Sox hoped to get back on track, and it felt like a big step for him last night.
Well, if they can find a dependable left-handed starter, you're going to put him in your rotation if he's that kind of a guy.
Naylor sends this one into right field, and it's going to one hop and get out of play. And there goes my guy's beer. But he's chugging it anyway. Nothing goes to waste here at right field.
We'll watch it again as Naylor continues to torment Sox pitching. This is a breaking ball, but it stays over the middle of the plate. Naylor thought that might have been out of the ballpark, and it cost the man probably just a bit of the beverage.
Wait, that's real quick thinking. Because not only did he show the good hands to save the beer, as it is exploding, he's like, I'm not letting this go to waste.
He got it.
We need to get him another one. That was impressive work. Get him some napkins and whatever else he is drinking. That should be on us. See, the play on the field is getting better, and the play in the stands is getting better. The fans showing some hands.
And the young lady next to him took a little of the beverage in her eye, which as a rule doesn't feel great.
Runner goes, but doesn't matter. Davis Martin with his second strikeout here in this third, looking good on the mound. It's Mother's Day. Good vibes here at the ballpark. Bottom of the third. This half inning is brought to you by Hyundai. Always great spending time with the family, but especially when you can do it in the sun at the ballpark. Enjoy a hot dog or 2 or 3.
It's a nice baseball cap. He'll grow into it.
Randall Grichuk, DH for the White Sox, will lead things off here in this home half of the third inning. We spoke with Walker McKinven, the bench coach for the White Sox, before the game. And Walker's talking about the chatter around Major League Baseball about this White Sox team. And he's saying everyone is talking about the energy, the vibes. People can feel things are different with the White Sox, especially guys like Randall Grichuk. He was with the Yankees, and when he was DFA'd, was excited about signing with the White Sox because of the energy that he's seen and felt. And everyone's talking about he really wanted to be a part of this. Behind in the count here, 1 ball, 2 strikes. We see it on an everyday basis, so sometimes we can be a little biased, but it's interesting when there's an outside perspective, when other teams are also noticing the same things.
Well, Will and his staff has everybody on this team hustling each and every play.
He did go around, so another strikeout for Logan Gilbert.
Well, both pitchers now have accomplished the over in strikeouts. Gilbert's stuff is pretty good, but he throws a lot of first pitch strikes. A couple of Sox hitters should be looking first pitch. It might be the best pitch you see, and Gilbert is around the zone quite a bit on the first pitch.
6 of the 7 outs recorded by Logan Gilbert have come by the strikeout. Bottom of the order is Drew Romo. Romo is wishing his mother Laura a happy Mother's Day, and he's excited because she's here in the ballpark, gets to spend time with his mom. Said she was great. She was always taking the team to practices, games, washing jerseys, providing lunch between games. And he said whenever he would travel or get ready for a tournament, his mom would always take him for his favorite meal. He would get a breakfast taco, which is huge in Texas, he said, and also a Dr. Pepper. That's how he knew he would be locked in for play.
Well, he's got a choice of a whole lot of wonderful restaurants here in Chicago.
Three balls and a strike.
Gilbert's not going to walk a whole lot of guys, and he's throwing a lot of strike one. Now he came in, even though it hasn't been as good a year as he would like, he came in averaging almost a strikeout an inning, and today no exception.
Three-two. This will be pitch number 50 in the game for the Mariners starter Logan Gilbert. And a challenge by Cal Raleigh behind the plate.
The catcher is challenged with a called ball.
It looked pretty good. We'll have to see when we see the replay.
ABS powered by T-Mobile.
And it had the whole plate, so.
The call is overturned. The batter is out.
Romo
Seattle
was
has
walking
2 challenges
away, but
remaining.
that was well in the zone. Follow our Sox at ChicagoSportsNetwork.com, presented by Nationwide Insurance Agent Jeff Vukovich. Get to enjoy knowing the Vuk as much as you do the jingle at JeffVuk.com, because Nationwide is on your side. Gilbert's recorded 8 outs, 7 have been via the strikeout.
Seven strikeouts now for Logan Gilbert this first time through the order. Let's see what adjustments the White Sox can make here. Sam Antonacci, his second time up. Tapper to the right side is Naylor. Another 1-2-3 inning after 3. It's the Sox down 1.
Right now, but coming up through the minor leagues, and when he first broke into the bigs, he didn't have what a lot of aces had, and that's that high ride fastball at big time velocities. So because of that, he's found a way to cut it and to sink it, arriving at a 3 fastball mix that you're seeing a lot of pitchers get to these days. It's really helping him control the strike zone. He's also got a strikeout looking on each and every one of his pitches already this season, one of just a handful of pitchers to accomplish that feat. Everything working for Davis Martin early in the going.
Part of the reason why a lot of guys look up to him now is because everything that he has gone through, he's had to experience different things. He's had to tinker with his arsenal, figure out what works for him. And that's why when guys are going through things, they come to him for answers.
Well, it didn't come easily for him. He didn't burst on the scene like Paul Skeens. He doesn't have that kind of stuff. So he realized fairly early that he would have to refine a changeup. He calls it his kick change. He would also have to change speeds on just about everything he throws.
Ooh. So Rosarena gets plunked there.
High riding fastball goes off the elbow guard, and he's going to be fine. Dan Wilson comes out. He's aboard to lead it off. Normally when a guy gets hit, first thing he wants to do is steal second base. So Davis is going to have to watch him pretty carefully.
Well, Rosarena, the first thing he thought when he got hit was that intentional? And Davis Martin let him know, no intent there. Rosarena says, all right, we're good.
You don't want to hit the leadoff hitter in a close game. Rosarena is 9 for 10 in stolen bases.
First time today that either team has had the leadoff hitter reach. As Luke Raley at the plate, 0 for 1, struck out his first time up. Pops this one up. Wind is pushing it in foul territory. What a oh no, he couldn't hang on. Vargas had it in his glove, and then he saw Antonacci at his feet and just couldn't squeeze it.
It's a really tough play for a third baseman, much easier play for the outfielder, but Miguel called it all the way. He thought he could make that play, only to see the ball trickle off the glove.
We're just thankful everyone is okay.
Yeah, those can get pretty nasty, especially when two guys are going full speed and both intent on making the catch. But that's why you have to have good communication.
One ball, 2 strikes, the count here to Raley. There goes a Rosarena. No, he shuts it down.
He didn't get a jump, and so he had the presence of mind when he didn't get that jump. You just stop. See it here. I mean, he's going, but he realized the jump wasn't good enough. Davis was holding the ball for a while. That's one of the things pitchers will use to try to neutralize a running game. And
he almost took off there.
Well, he was going, and then Davis turned around and remembered there's a guy at first.
Rosarena takes off now. Davis Martin steps off, and now they got him in a pickle. Murakami, he will throw down. Might drop the tag in time. Rosarena will have to take the trot back to the dugout.
That's a big play, taking him off base to lead off an inning. We'll watch it again, and this time Davis is aware that he was running. There's the tag, and a Rosarena who will do this more times than Seattle doesn't really care to have him do it, gets taken off base.
It is officially scored a 1-6-3-4, caught stealing. And now the strikeout from Davis Martin, 2 down.
This is right on the inside corner. It's the kick change, and it's a good one. He had Raley well out in front of it, and quickly, instead of a man on, nobody out, it's 2 outs and nobody on.
We've been so impressed with some of Davis Martin's outings, especially his last one, scoreless 10 strikeouts. But this one may be even more impressive because you've noticed he hasn't had his best stuff, but still able to navigate through a very tough lineup.
Well, he also has achieved the over in strikeouts, and he got it pretty early. So the stuff is getting a bit better as he moves along. That will happen sometimes after a rough first inning. And we've talked about this a lot, but the pitcher is the only guy on the field that warms up at a place other than where he's going to play on the field. If you're a shortstop, you're taking ground balls at short. An outfielder, you're taking fly balls in the position you're in. But a pitcher has to warm up in the bullpen. You hope both mounds are identical. Sometimes it's a little difficult in that first inning for most starters.
Only 1 run scored in that first inning for the Mariners. That's where we stand right now, a 1-0 game here in this top of the 4th. Because this Mariners team does foul off a ton of pitches, pitch count getting up there for Davis Martin. This will be number 70 so far today. All right, so Steve, remember we saw that fan had his beer knocked over. So guest services going out, making sure he gets another one, compliments of the White Sox. Make sure everybody goes home happy. I mean, when you show hands like that, to make the save, make the recovery, it's only the right thing to do to make sure he gets another beer.
Well, I think he's going to be just fine with the exchange, which was nothing for a beer. It's a good exchange.
And I hope people are hitting him up saying, man, you got some nice hands. Good save. Count runs full here to J.P. Crawford. Popped up. It is Romo located the ball, makes the catch, and that'll do it for this top of the 4th inning. Find it at Wind Creek Chicago Southland, where the action never stops. Play the hottest table games, enjoy the newest slots, and celebrate big jackpots. At Wind Creek, there's a win waiting for you around every corner.
In the sun, it's very comfortable today. Move to the shade, a little chilly. It's certainly not bad at all.
Thanks for joining us here on this Sunday afternoon in Chicago. Brooke Fletcher, Connor McKnight, Steve Stone, John Schriffen here in the booth. Happy Mother's Day, happy Kids Day. And we're just happy that Munetaka Murakami is in a White Sox uniform.
Been a good few weeks for him. This is the heart of the order. You got Murakami, Vargas, and Montgomery if anybody gets on my draw. So the second time around, they have a pretty good idea about Gilbert's stuff, and let's see if they can take advantage of it.
Murakami went down swinging his first time up, one of 7 strikeouts for Logan Gilbert. And it's the starting rotation that makes this Mariners team so lethal. Why many people feel like they can be contenders late in the season.
They also have some great arms in the bullpen. And as far as Munoz, their closer, he's got a 6.0 ERA. So he's going to have to sharpen that up somewhat.
Grounded to Naylor at first. He will keep it himself. And there's one out to start this home half of the 4th inning. We have not seen Munoz yet in this series for the first 2 games here against the White Sox.
Yeah, I think that let's just keep him healthy for their next series against Houston. They're flying to Houston. You can use him there. You save a couple of games, but probably needs a day off.
Miguel Vargas steps in with 1 out. He has the only hit today for the White Sox. He's also the only base runner the White Sox have had with his double back in the 1st inning.
Gilbert's not going to walk too many guys, and he is a strike thrower.
Bottom 4. This half inning is brought to you by Davis Law. Nights like last night for Miguel Vargas, something most people can only dream of. Not 1, but 2 home run blasts, giving the White Sox the win. And his personality is really starting to come out. We saw him barking on the celebration.
I think Miguel thought that one was a little high, but not challengeable. We'll take another look. It is out of the zone, and it's a mistake by Gilbert because that was supposed to be low and away. Instead, he got it up and in. Miguel pretty much feels that it was not a strike, and it wasn't, but he didn't want to challenge it.
This one is hit well, but on a line to a Rosarena. And he will make the catch for out number 2.
Sox fans, stay connected to the South Side with Chuck Garfien on the White Sox podcast, featuring exclusive interviews, expert analysis, and inside access to the team all season long. Stream new episodes every Tuesday at 4 on the CHSN app. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead.
Colson Montgomery steps in. He is 0 for 1 today. Popped up. It is Donovan at third in foul territory. And he makes the catch to end this 4th inning. Well, we should always give thanks to the mothers in our life, but today is a very special day where we honor the moms for this Mother's Day. And luckily we got some good weather. The sun is out here in Chicago and hoping for a White Sox win. By St. Xavier University. Davis Martin ready to fire here to 8-9-1 in the order for Seattle.
Pretty good pitch because there's only 2 guys in this lineup that have hit home runs against Davis Martin, and the man you're looking at is one of them.
And it is quickly 0-2 here on Dominic Canzone, the DH today.
If he wants to go back to that breaking ball low and in, he's probably going to get a swing. Well caught by Romo, but Shane Livensparger is having none of it. It was up and out of the zone.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
As he moves along in this, and it's 77 pitches deep, the fastball is getting a little more lively. Now, it's not his best. It's 93, but it's in a good spot. Canzone couldn't extend his arms, and he goes down as a strikeout victim. You can see the difference in strikeout rate this year as opposed to last year. So the stuff is much sharper. His confidence is at an all-time high, and why not? He's 5-1. But he feels with his stuff on a daily basis, and I know without talking to him that he believes that he's better than everybody he's facing. And that's the arrogance of performance that you have to excel in this league.
I feel like the odds makers haven't exactly caught up with what he is doing right now. 4.5 seemed like a gift.
Yeah, to me it certainly was a gift because, you know, last time 10 strikeouts. His stuff has been pretty consistent all year long. And he didn't start off with great stuff, but it's coming to him now, and he's thrown it pretty well.
Looking to take care of Cole Young, bottom of the order. Chopper to first. Murakami will flip to Davis Martin. There's 2 away. Let's go to Connor.
Mother's Day is a full circle moment for Davis Martin, or at least it is in these photos. We're going to show you a picture of Davis holding a picture with an inscription on the back from his mom. She wrote this when Davis was 11 months old. Fast forward just a handful of years, and Davis's son gets to hold the very same inscription on the back of a photo. And then you got the whole family too, sitting there with the skyline in the background. Davis has made Chicago his home, and he's topped the rotation here in 2026.
And I think he's come pretty close to living and doing all of that his mother was talking about, his dreams and aspirations.
It's always a pleasure talking to Davis Martin about his family, especially his wife Jenna and his son Doak. He really credits them with just saving his career. It was during Tommy John surgery. He had an extreme case of it where he had to be in a full brace. So it was about a 15-16 month recovery. And he remembers just being in Arizona at the complex. When all of his friends were gone, he was still there just recovering. And it was his wife and the birth of his young son getting him through those tough days, reminding him of his why he's putting in the work, those everyday workouts to get back to this moment in his career. And he never forgets that, the people who have gotten him to this point.
Well, look, a lot of pitchers will work just in and out. They're going to go inside by an inch, outside by an inch. Davis has been working up and down quite a bit, changing the eye level of most of these hitters.
Top of the order, Brendan Donovan is 0 for 2. Bouncer off the mound. Montgomery showing the range, makes the throw at the second base position. Another 1-2-3 inning for Davis Martin. To by Prevagen. A lot of people out and about walking the concourse here at Rate Field. It's another good day of attendance here at the ballpark here on the south side.
With my draw up, Donovan is in close at third. There's no angles on anything hit to his left or right.
Walker McKinnon before the game talked about Chase Mydroth, and one of the things he was really asked of in the offseason by the White Sox. He was banged up last year, limited the amount of games he could play in towards that stretch in September. Because of that, they really asked him to work on his body in order to be an everyday player, and that was one of the things that he really focused on, and he has been posting for this White Sox team.
Still 162 games. It's a very long year, and your body does take a beating.
Mydroth told me he learned the work ethic from his mom, Cynthia. Said every morning she would get up at 5 o'clock, go for a 6-mile run, then take care of the family, go work, and still come home late at night to make dinner. He said he really appreciated all the sacrifices that she made for him and the younger brother and the entire family, and he has kept that throughout his life.
And he has worked hard to get here. It's a lot more difficult to stay here.
The big thing a lot of kids, I hope they're taken away from this broadcast, it's not just your physical tools and your abilities. There's so many other people in your life who play a role into your success. Bouncer up the middle. That is Crawford at short. And there's one away here in this bottom of the 5th. Let's go to Brooke.
All right, guys, you hear so many great Little League stories around Mother's Day, and Jared shared one that really stuck with him. He said when he was really young, he actually struck out and came back to the dugout frustrated, and he actually let a bad word slip. I'll just leave that out here. And his mom was sitting right next to the dugout, and let's just say he learned pretty quickly that that wasn't going to fly from there on out. But you know, I love, we hear about the dads and how nervous they get, but like the growing up with the travel baseball and the Little League stories with the moms, that's where the good stuff is, you guys.
Brooke, his mom Lisa was not having it. Let him know early on that's not how we do things.
I don't think darn is necessarily a bad term. Apparently a young Jared was not harnessing the emotions as well as he should have. Gilbert's been using both sides of the plate also. His breaking ball today is probably as good as it's been, and he's getting ahead of most of the hitters.
We were in Southern California recently on this last road trip, and I had my dog with me, and I was just kind of walking around a park, and there was Little League fields there, and I saw this sign at the Little League field that really struck me as a good reminder to parents out there. And I'll tell you after this next pitch here to Kelnick. As he does go around, And there's 2 out here in this 5th inning. So the sign said it's a reminder from your child. So this is a sign to parents out there. And the sign said, I'm a kid. It's just a game. My coach is a volunteer. The umpires are human. No one is being scouted by the Dodgers today. So it's just a gentle reminder to the parents that, especially at that level, when the kids are so young, let's just have fun and play the game of baseball.
Well, for a while I was a volunteer umpire when I was in the 14, 15-year-old range, and you ump Little League, and there was bases loaded, nobody out, and the catcher tries to tag the runner coming home. But I'm the only one in the park that knew it was a force out because he had his foot on the plate. So I called him out, and the parents just descended on the field. I'm trying to explain to them, it was a force out. You probably don't know that, but the guy was out before the slide. It was a great slide. It just doesn't count. They were having none of that. My career as an umpire did not last much longer than that.
Well, the ground is second base. That'll do it. That's why I appreciated that sign. Sometimes we all need just a gentle reminder. Let's play the game for the love of it.
The memorable moment is presented by Prevagen, and it's Davis Martin just commanding the zone. Up, down, in, out. The stuff is getting better as he moves along. However, the pen is up and going just in case. And Davis, of recent vintage, has been pretty tough to hit.
He has been so good that his ERA has actually gone up today, just giving up 1 run through 5 innings. That's how good his start of the season has been. And he's looking to try to make it through the 6th here as he gets ready to throw pitch number 90 in the ball game.
Well, then the question, does he come out of this game before Naylor, or does he face Naylor? And then if he faces Raleigh behind him, he's a much more powerful hitter from the left side than he is from the right, as Sean Newcomb continues to work in the pen.
It has been a pitcher's duel here in this finale of the series against the Mariners. Logan Gilbert has been incredible. Davis Martin is matching him pitch for pitch. And another strikeout here to start this 6th inning.
Well, he got him on a slider last time, and I think that was in the mind of Rodriguez, but he gets the express. It's off the plate at 95, but close enough with 2 strikes where Rodriguez felt he had to defend.
You know, it's interesting. Josh Naylor, we talked about his baseball IQ, just how smart he is. He actually paused in the on-deck circle. He was waiting to see if Will Venable was going to come out of the dugout, if there was going to be a pitching change. But Davis Martin's going to stay in this game and pitch here to Josh Naylor. Bouncer up the middle. It is my drop at second. And a big out there for Davis Martin, out number 2.
Davis Martin knew where the defenders were, and that's why he didn't go after the baseball. And that's very important for young pitchers. Take a look at your defense, and you'll know when to pull the glove back because there's a man there. Otherwise, we've seen a lot of baseballs carry off gloves of pitchers when they don't know where the defenders are. He gave way, and Meidroth made the play easily.
2 down, top of the 6th. This half inning is brought to you by Elgin Hyundai. Nicely done with the sign.
And it is a very happy Mother's Day. The weather is gorgeous, and the ballpark is pretty well stacked. Unfortunately, that one, which was hit awfully hard, had Raleigh getting way out in front of it.
Davis Martin calling his own pitch from his mitt. 2 balls and a strike to count. Missing low and inside, ball 3.
It was still a pretty good pitch. It's just that Raleigh saw it all the way and refused to swing.
Does catch the corner, strike 2.
You'd just as soon face a Rosarena next inning leading off, as he is yet to be retired in his 2 at-bats.
Pitch number 99. And Davis Martin will hit triple digits here today against the Mariners.
And there we see the anatomy of a slump. You're a little tardy on a fastball, and you're way out front of a breaking ball, and that's what Raleigh's going through.
3-2 for Martin.
It was a changeup. I don't think Davis wanted to get it inside, but Raleigh felt it was too close to take, and he kept the at-bat alive. So this undoubtedly will be, one way or the other, the last inning for Davis Martin.
9th pitch of the at-bat. And he loses him, ball 4. Head to the ballpark next Friday, May 15th, as we take on the Cubs at 6:40 p.m. Catch the White Sox in their iconic City Connect uniforms for this crosstown rivalry. Plus, stick around for a post-game fireworks show presented by Rate. To purchase tickets, visit whitesox.com/city.
Well, he will run on occasion. He's swiped 2 bags, been caught 1 time, so you can't take him for granted.
So 102 pitches now from Davis Martin. Zach Bove, the pitching coach, went out for a quick conversation.
Sean Newcomb is ready to go if needed.
This is a new season high for Davis Martin. His previous was 98.
This way I'm thinking if he doesn't get a Rosarena, you probably got Newcomb for Raleigh. And that's the one pitch that a Rosarena throughout his career just expands his zone and doesn't come close. This one dives out of the zone. He had a Rosarena well out in front.
Davis Martin, 9 punch-outs, a career high 105 pitches. He had it going today. Baseball on Chicago Sports Network is brought to you by Wintrust. Different approach, better results.
Bottom part of the order to face Gilbert, and he's been really tough today. He's given up just a 1 hit to Vargas. Miguel twice has hit the ball very hard. Nobody else has really hit it all that well in the Sox lineup. And how about that for a number?
17 consecutive starts, allowing 3 or less earned runs, as Davis Martin getting some hugs and handshakes in the dugout. Well-deserved pat on the back after his outing today.
I didn't think he had good stuff when he started, but his stuff got better as he moved along. And that's really a good attribute to have, because early he gave up a double and a single in the first inning, walked 1 guy. After that, he gave up 1 hit the rest of the way and was in command.
Logan Gilbert has to get out of the way of that one, as Grichuk is retired to start this bottom of the 6th inning. Steve, the other thing, Steve, that's so impressive about what Davis Martin is doing is how he's stacking quality start after quality start now. 10 strikeouts his last time, 9 strikeouts here today.
Well, he has supreme confidence in his ability to get all of his pitches over the plate anytime he wants to. And when you feel that way, you're going to be aggressive. You're going to attack the hitter. You know, they talk about the hitter ambushing a pitcher or attacking the pitcher, but conversely, the guys feeling pretty good about their stuff on a given day, they're going to attack the hitter. And to do that, you got to throw strike one consistently, and Davis was able to do that a lot.
You know how we showed also how his ERA went up slightly just a tick? Well, after that 6th inning, it has now gone down from where it started. 1.62 is his current ERA.
It's unbelievable. Like my stocks, they keep going down. And eventually we hope that they reach a level and come back up, trickle back up.
Finance 101 with Steve Stone. There's Rodriguez coming in to make the play. And there's 2 away here in the 6th.
This game is brought to you by Marquette Bank. Marquette Bank is Chicagoland's trusted neighborhood bank and home lender. So level up your banking with Marquette Bank at emarquettebank.com. Marquette Bank, love where you bank. Well, I don't know, was that a Marquette Bank read? About 10 times in there. But we love Marquette Bank.
We were talking about finances.
We see it on the way to the airport on occasion.
We love anybody who wants to be a part of White Sox baseball right now. And there are a lot of people who are getting on board because there's a lot of excitement with this team.
And there's another wave coming. And also the Sox have 1-1 first pick in the first round this year.
That's the other thing Chris Getz talked about this week, general manager of the White Sox. He said the plan for 2026 was always, can we take a meaningful step forward? And that's what we've seen from this team. Now, if the playoffs are going to be out there, that's another conversation.
Well,
he said if this team is in contention at the trade deadline, then we'll start thinking about if there will be moves to be made.
But we've seen a lot of teams where a guy will get a base hit, he'll trot to first base, take a little bitty turn. The Sox aren't like that. When they get a base hit, they're thinking 2 until the outfielder shows them that it's going to be a single. And that's each and every one of these players. The one thing that he can deal with mistakes. You make physical mistakes all the time. He won't deal with lack of hustle, and he let the guys know that very early in spring training this year.
And Tanachi goes down swinging to end this 6th inning. White Sox trail 1-0.
So that you're always ready for the first pitch. Start streaming Sox baseball today on the CHSN app with a 7-day free trial to subscribe. It's .chsn.com. Chicago Sports Network, full stream ahead. And there is Sean Newcomb on for the 17th time. The ERA a good one at 3.32. He's been very useful out of the pen, and his job is pretty simple. Get out of this inning with a 1-run deficit and turn it over to the offense.
So with the lefty in, Mariners go to the bench, and a pinch hitter is Connor Joe. And the first pitch that he sees, he will challenge. ABS powered by T-Mobile. And it does miss, so the call is overturned. How about that? You come off the bench and already you're ready to fire off a challenge.
And both teams still have both of theirs.
Joe in the air to left field. And Antonacci cannot make the diving play. Joe will scoot to second. And that's how we start this 7th inning.
He made a catch like this yesterday, but today the ball trickles out of the glove. It is a base hit. It's a good effort. So he comes up with a double. And an ominous way to start this 7th.
You know, normally in that spot, the Mariners would have gone to Rob Refsnyder, but he is 0 for 6 in this series. He's been struggling, so losing at bats to guys like Connor Joe.
And they wind up with the double to lead off an inning.
Big swing there from Crawford.
Well, he's not much of a butter, and his job is pretty simple. Try to take it to the right side and move Joe along.
On the ground of Mydroth, runner will advance as he makes the play to first. So one away here in this seventh. This half inning is brought to you by Toyota.
And there is Rob Refsnyder. Canzone is taken down. They pretty much run a straight platoon system in Seattle. They're not going to let their lefties face lefties too often. Unless, of course, that lefty is Naylor, who faces everybody.
Refsnyder has been struggling as the infield comes in for the White Sox. Newcomb fires in strike one.
The batter is challenging the call of strike.
So both pinch hitters challenging the first pitch that they see.
That is a strike. Seattle is down to one.
Seattle has one challenge remaining.
ABS powered by T-Mobile. You know what's interesting, Steve, coming into today, Mariners batters have the best success rate in Major League Baseball at 74%. So their hitters are being empowered to challenge whenever they want.
Managers will tell you they want to have one in their pockets as they head into the late innings. And Seattle does have one left.
Joe has to get out of the way of that one.
That's why you take your lead in foul territory. And he would just as soon on a secondary lead be in motion as the pitch is thrown. So he's in foul territory, and then well, maybe if you're Shaquille O'Neal, that one would hit your head, but not so much for Connor Joe. This becomes a very big out because the offense for the Sox has been stifled today. Seattle wants to add this insurance. Brian Hudson loosening in the pen. He's been really good for most of this year. Yes, he did.
Home plate umpire Shane Libbensparger calling that one.
Refsnyder has given Dan Merzel some heat. However, he didn't call this. This one was called by Libbensparger behind the plate, and Joe says, wait a second, I didn't see you, Dan Merzel, do anything. Who's probably saying, no, of course not, because you struck out before.
The appeal to third on this one as Mark Ripperger says he did not go around. Cole Young, one of the few lefties in the lineup who is allowed to hit against lefties, just 22 years old. As Romo locates the ball there. Young is the youngest player on the Mariners, 15th youngest player in Major League Baseball, just 7 days older than Noah Schultz of the White Sox, who's also 22.
Well, he's really made great strides as a defender. He's an excellent defensive second baseman. This is a huge out because you can leave him right there at 1-0 after a leadoff double. That would be exceptional pitching.
In the air to right field, it is Kelenic waiting on it. And that'll do it for this top half of the seventh inning. It is time to stretch here at the rate.
A lot of players. Munetaka Murakami is wearing special spikes in honor of his mom on Mother's Day. Some good stuff there. He's got the pink bat as well. Munetaka also mentioned very specifically, I love the practicality here. He wanted to thank his mom for all the delicious cooking throughout his upbringing, crediting that cooking for the 15 home run power he's shown for the White Sox already this season. Happy Mother's Day to his mom.
I'll tell you what, I was surprised at the size of Murakami when we first saw him in spring training. We knew he had the power, but to be and stand next to him in person, that was one of the things that really surprised me the most.
We've talked about it before. He was asked in a press conference in Arizona, what statistic do you look at which tells you how you're doing? And he said, I don't look at any statistics. If my swing is where I want it to be, the rest will take care of itself. I thought it was a great answer, and it shows that he really understands himself as a player. Now, he's got to face a left-hander, Jose Ferrer, coming on. He's been really good this year, and he doesn't walk a whole lot of people.
Recorded his second save of the season on Wednesday as Connor Joe stays into the game and plays right. That was in the series against the Braves when the Mariners won. Became the first Seattle reliever to pitch 3 days in a row. So he has shown that he can be very dependable and durable this season.
And if you can find a left-hander that can do that for you, he's really valuable out of your pen.
Murakami pokes this one into right center field. Rounds first and will decide to shut it down. A good start here to this bottom of the 7th inning. Let's go to Brooke.
All right, guys, I got to take you back to last night after Miguel Vargas's second home run, and there's some dog barking going on. This is something that Miguel has done after homers since last year. Take a look at Sam Antonacci there, the crouching down. Sam told me that he wanted in on the action. He actually asked Kyle Teal to act like he was holding him on a leash in the dugout. So Miguel describes his barks as a chihuahua. Sam described his bark as a lion. Yes, lions, they actually do bark, you guys. Miguel disagreed. He said, quote, more like a little cat. He's too young. So you got to put the rookie in his place, you know?
In time, young man, in time. Also notice that Mike Vassell-Wand making an appearance there as well.
Well, I think that just about everybody in this lineup, and this is not to denigrate Ferrer, but they're happy to see Gilbert leave. 6 innings, 1 hit, 9 strikeouts, no walks. What a performance that was. And a 3-0 count. So first and second with nobody out would look pretty good.
Vargas today is 1 for 2. His double in the first, 108 miles per hour off the bat. And then in the fourth, he lined out. That was 107 off the bat.
I mean, he really saw Gilbert well on a day when nobody else saw him very well.
3-2, fouls it away. I feel like maybe he's opened up another button on that jersey as well. When you're hot, just do whatever you need at the plate.
Well, over the last couple of years, he's put on some weight, and it's well distributed.
Popped up. It is Young at second. And there's the first out here in this home half of the 7th. Carlos Montgomery's 0 for 2 so far today. So grateful for his mom, Lisa. There's a tribute to his mom there on his spikes. Said she was always so positive growing up. He said she would always go out of her way to put others before her. On the ground to second base. And they will only get the lead runner at second.
Well, it's interesting what Crawford did, because Crawford knew there wasn't going to be a double play. The ball was too slowly hit. So he acted almost as a first baseman at second, because he knows it's only going to be a force out. And he wants the ball to get there ahead of the runner. And look at him. Stretches like a first baseman, goes out and gets it, makes sure of the out at second, and not worried about the return throw to first.
Finishing on that story from Montgomery, he said he remembers when his grandfather passed away, his mom's dad. And he said his mom, Lisa, made sure everyone else in the family was okay before herself. And he said we've always seen that selflessness from her, and that's one of the things he has carried throughout his life. My drop pokes it through the hole on the right side. Sox have something going here in this 7th inning.
This is going to necessitate a pinch hitter, as Chase keeps it alive. Runners at first and second. Edgar Caro is going to come on to pinch hit. And it doesn't really matter to Edgar, because he can hit from both sides of the plate. I think he's a better right-hand hitter. Hit the ball hard a couple of times last night. Got a base hit to show for it. Eduardo Bazardo, or Edward Bazardo. Sounds better, Eduardo Bazardo. We'll look into that.
Edgar Caro will be the first to tell you he's going through it at the plate right now.
But he made a good play early, throwing out a would-be base stealer. That was Rodriguez, and then hit the ball hard twice. So that kind of performance is going to give you more confidence than you had, and hopefully he comes through in a big way here. Tying run at second base.
First pitch in there, strike one to Caro. Walker McKinven, the bench coach, talked about Edgar Caro today, and he said we all forget just how young he is. Recently turned 23 years old, and this is his 2nd season in Major League Baseball, so he is still learning and growing a lot in his abilities.
Well, he was so young at every level. He was the youngest player every step of the way through the minor leagues. The Angels had him. The Sox wanted him. They made a deal.
2-1. Edgar Caro is the 2nd youngest player on the White Sox after Noah Schultz, who is 22. That one plunks him. It doesn't feel good, but it will load the bases for the Sox.
Well, the fans are booing. They do that a lot when one of their players gets hit, but this was not intentional. You're not going to put the go-ahead run at second base, and he's going to feel that for a couple of days.
Now, as soon as Caro touches the bag at first, we will have a pinch runner as Luis Angel Acuna will take over for him.
Will also take over in the outfield, because Caro pinch hit for Kelnick, and now one move solves 2 spots for you.
It is now up to Tristan Peters. Bases loaded, 2 outs here in the 7th inning. Sox down 1-0. Puts down the bunt, but fouls it away.
I had a pretty good sense that that was what's going to happen, and this particular bunt is a little more difficult for Peters, because instead of a push bunt to third, he's trying to drag it with him. you have to keep the head of the bat up. If it hits the bat and the head of the bat goes down, the ball's going to pop straight up.
Showing bunt again, pulls it back, ball 1. Third baseman Donovan for the Mariners. He is on alert right now, as you see him making his way in.
And if you're a base runner at third, as Colson Montgomery is, your lead is exactly how far the third baseman is away from the bag.
Peters unable to get that bunt down, strike 2.
He's shaking his head, but that's what he'll have to work on, the drag bunt, because it's not as easy as the push bunt.
Way outside. Count is even here at 2-2.
Well, he's been struggling with the bat, but he's one of the great defenders in all of baseball behind the plate. And he saved the tie game twice.
Crowd getting into it here at right field. And a time called as no pitch by Ferrer.
I do like what Ferrer did, however, and when that happens, just go through with the pitch. Not going to count, doesn't matter where you throw it, but a sudden stop when you're almost in your delivery occasionally will get a pitcher hurt.
Especially when you can throw 99 miles per hour.
This guy's got a big fastball.
2-2. And the count is now full, and there's nowhere to put Peters.
Well, you love that, because now the runners will be going, which pretty much takes the force out of the equation, and the fans up on their feet.
The White Sox have been hustling, and the fans have been showing up, providing the energy here at the ballpark. 3-2. And Peters fouls it away as Raleigh gets the worst of that one.
He did indeed. I don't care where you play, you got to be a real tough guy to put on the catcher's gear, because you're going to get hit, and sometimes they come in bunches. You're going to get hit a lot. So the biggest pitch of the game to this point.
Bases loaded. Tapper over the mound. Backhanded. Throw to first. And Young just gets Peters by a step.
Well, we told you that Young is outstanding defensively. And let's see what Will wants. We're going to step out off a fine play. Looks like he got it there just ahead.
Game. Today we pay tribute to Captain Mackenzie Peterson of the United States Army.
Always appreciate our GovX hero of the game as we start this 8th inning.
The new pitcher in the ball game is Brian Hudson. He comes out for the 20th time. He's been outstanding. ERA of 1.
So the defensive changes. Acuna, who pinch ran, will go in and play center, and Peters moves from center and will play right field now. He did go around. Strikeout for Hudson to start this 8th inning.
Let's look at the last play that ended the inning. Just a great effort by Young. He gets there an eyelash ahead of Peters. It was a good at bat by Peters, by the way. A battling at bat. He made contact, and unfortunately, the ball went the other way. I mean, he's giving it everything he's got, but he can't outrun Young's arm.
Biggest play in the ball game so far. And now it's up to Hudson to keep this a 1-run game. Grounded to third is Vargas. And 2 quick outs.
Hudson has to make some good pitches because it doesn't matter righty lefty, lefty against lefty. Naylor does not get cheated. Good sweeper. That one well off the plate. Naylor couldn't pick up the spin in time.
Because we are dog lovers.
Yes.
There's a great story about Josh Naylor falling in love with the Mariners clubhouse dog Tucker. When he was first traded at the deadline last year from the Diamondbacks, he saw the dog in the clubhouse as he delivers that one into right field. He said, "Whose dog is this? Did somebody bring their dog in?" And he quickly found out, no, it's the clubhouse dog that is always there for home games. So when he re-signed this offseason for a big 5-year deal, $92.5 million, he joked in his press conference that part of the reason why he was coming back to the Mariners was because they have a dog in the clubhouse.
I think it's a pretty good idea. Now, he's probably not going to do what Finn the Bat Dog did for the Las Vegas AAA team. But Finn has since retired.
Yep. And the air to center field. It is, right center now with the wind pushing it as Peters makes the catch to put an end to this top of the 8th inning. Nice job by Hudson.
Coming schedule, and with the day off tomorrow, which is always welcome, Kansas City comes to town for 3, and then the Cubs over the weekend in what should be a whale of a series. Then it's off to Seattle, see the same Mariners before an off day, and then the Giants provide the opposition. They just put their best pitcher on the injured list, and so the Giants, who are off to a very slow start, not getting a whole lot of help these days, and Edward Bizzardo comes on for the 20th time. 153 earned run average.
Eight, 9-1, and the Sox lineup due up, starting with Randall Grichuk. Grichuk 0 for 2, struck out and a ground out his last time up in the 6th inning.
Well, that's a good slider. It's very easy to pull off that ball because the spin is tight. You don't pick it up right away. You open that left shoulder and no coverage away.
Key inning here because we talked about we have not seen Andres Munoz so far in this series. If this score holds, most likely we will see him in the 9th.
Even if the Sox tie it up, you're probably going to see him anyway because you got to get him an inning every now and then. And he's really struggled. His ERA is way up there for a guy with overwhelming stuff.
One, 2. This ball is drilled deep to left. Back it goes. Get out! Randall Grichuk ties this game in the 8th with a solo shot.
That's one of the reasons why the Sox got him, because this guy has hit over 200 home runs lifetime, and that was a big one. Sox trailing the whole way until that one swing.
Dugout is fired up because of this swing from Grichuk.
Time now for the Lexus Amazing Home Run Replay. You get to experience amazing replays like that.
Drew Romo sends this one down the line in right field. It's going to get to the wall. Joe fires it back in, but Romo is safe at second. Yeah, buddy. Here come the Sox.
Romo quiet all day, and then he drills one. So we'll look at the home run first. Actually, we won't. We'll look at this first.
New life for this Sox offense here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
And Raleigh is saying beware of the bunt. He's telling them at the corners, and they're both in at the corners.
Antonacci shows bunt, gets it down. Third baseman Donovan Fields will fire it across. The sacrifice bunt by Antonacci is successful as the go-ahead run reaches third.
You can tell by the sound this one is not going to be in the field of play. Into the bullpen, tying the game, and now the go-ahead is 90 feet away.
And Murakami will be intentionally walked as the fans don't like it.
You know the feeling of Dan Wilson. Even though Murakami will strike out on occasion, he figures you put him on first, got runners at the corners, you still have a double play to get out of this inning. However, Miguel is really stinging the baseball. And all here you need is a medium depth fly ball to go ahead. Anthony Dominguez, Sir Anthony Dominguez, is throwing in the pen.
First and third with one out in this 8th inning. And the pitch missing upstairs, ball 1 to Vargas.
There is Sir Anthony. Sox are just hoping it's a save situation.
Rosario fires in a strike. Count is even here at 1-1 to Vargas. 1 for 3 today. Doubled his first time up against the starter Logan Gilbert.
So Raleigh wants to come out. Could very well be that his reliever wanted one pitch, he wanted another. Now he's going to explain to him what the game plan is. And what's going to happen now with everybody on the mound, they're talking about what they're going to do if Murakami takes off. You can make a quick throw to third. You can throw straight through to the bag at second, or you can throw it short of the bag and have the infielder, whoever takes it, come get it. In this case, with Vargas up, you'd have to feel that it's going to be Young is going to be the guy taking the throw if, in fact, the Sox do decide to run.
Miguel Vargas with 2 home runs last night. Looking to give the Sox the lead here in this 8th inning. 1-1 pitch. Out of the zone, ball 2. Almost 20,000 fans here inside the rate on this Mother's Day. In the left field, Rosarena got a good jump. Tagging from third. The throw home is airmailed, and the Sox take the lead. Drew Romo tags and scores. It's now 2-1 Sox on top.
I'm pretty sure Justin Jersley said tag up on this one. Rosarena has been less than accurate with his throws historically. They decided to challenge him, and the Sox won the challenge. It's a short fly ball. A good throw gets him. A bad throw doesn't. The ball gets stuck in the glove. That's one of the reasons why the throw was high. He couldn't get it out of his glove in time, and Luzardo was backing up, which saved him probably a run.
There's so many things you have to think about as a third base coach, and Justin Jersley trying to put the pressure on the defense. What a call to send Romo at third and give the Sox the lead.
Well, you got a catcher at third base, and also you have a very short fly ball, but Rosarena has done a few of these things over the course of his career, and this one went the Sox way.
The Sox scored 2 in this 8th inning to take their first lead of the ball game.
Rosarena is going to lead off in the 9th inning, but the Sox would love another run.
Colson Montgomery will strike out to end this frame. But how about Randall Grichuk getting it started?
Productive inning. That tied it. And this soft fly ball off the end of the bat puts the Sox ahead with 3 outs to get.
Davis Martin brought it again. Randall Grichuk tied the game in the 8th. White Sox take the lead, and a new pitcher on the mound here for the 9th.
This will be kind of interesting. Shane Leibensparger is going out to the mound with Romo.
Looks to be our good old friend Pitchcom.
You hardly ever see that. More than a couple times a week. But better that the communication is pretty good between pitcher and catcher. Sir Anthony is 8 for 10 in save situations. So he started off slowly, but lately he's been throwing it just about as well as any closer in the game. Sox are hoping this one ends without a whole lot of drama.
So Rosarena is pointing out to something in center field that is potentially distracting his view. And the umpires are going to get together to see if something maybe has to be moved.
Yeah, the fence, move it further back.
Spoken like a true pitcher.
There's something, yeah, something on the track.
There it is. That's how sharp the eyesight is for a hitter. They notice everything as they look past a pitcher, and he could see that blowing in the wind.
Nice song, by the way.
Gotta love this mentality of this White Sox team coming back late. It is something that has been started in spring training, the culture formed by Will Venable. And on this Mother's Day, Will Venable wants to send a special happy Mother's Day to his mom, Molly. He says without his mom, he would not be here today because he actually gave up baseball at one point in his career. Said he was back in high school. He was a multiple stars in different sports. And he wanted to focus on basketball because he felt like that is what game would get him to the next level. So he stopped playing baseball his senior year in high school. A 1 count here to Rosarena. And so he had multiple offers to go to Division I places to play basketball, but he got offered by Princeton, and his mom said that is where you need to go and play. Gets to Princeton, plays basketball his freshman year, did not play baseball, but his mom said you may want to get back into the game. It has given your father, who was a professional baseball player, so much. He's gotten to travel, meet so many incredible people. Think about getting back into the game. Well, Will Venable got back into it, played baseball his sophomore year at Princeton, went on to play in the majors, and now the manager here at the White Sox. Not only is he grateful for his mother, Molly, we are very grateful for you, Molly, and encouraging Will Venable to get back into the game.
I think a slider should be forthcoming because a Rosarena will expand his zone.
Inside, strike 3 called, 1 away here in the 9th.
The batter is challenging the call strike.
They have one more challenge left, and they're choosing to use it here, and that one
The call is confirmed.
just
Seattle has no
barely.
challenges remaining.
So no challenges for Seattle. This one tickled the top of the strike zone. Shane Leibensparger has really been good behind the plate today. He hadn't missed too many, but that's a huge out because the Rosarena is their best base stealer.
So 1 down brings up Connor Joe, a pinch hit double in the 7th. Fouls that first one off. This game has completely flipped after that home run by Randall Grichuk. Breaking ball in there, strike 2.
And I think that Connor Joe is most unhappy with that. Why don't they? Oh, that's right. They don't have any left. That's one you'd like to challenge. Not sure he would have won it, but he certainly would have wanted to take another look at it.
Two.
Joe came in late. He came out as a pinch hitter to lead off the 7th. He doubled, but he was stranded at 3rd. Nice stop by Romo. That won't matter much here, but you stay in practice by doing that. You get good fundamentals. Not going to cost you anything if you miss it. You go out and try to smother it, and he did just that.
1-2. That one is lined it into right field. So Connor Joe off the bench with 2 hits in this ball game. It's time now for a message from Ankin Law.
Howard, my husband fell at a construction site. I knew it wasn't safe.
At Ankin Law, we're one of the largest filers of workers' compensation claims in the state. If you've been hurt on the job, in a car accident, or suffered a medical mistake, call 312-6-million.
So the tying run is on. Joe at first. Brings up J.P. Crawford with 1 out in this 9th inning. Crawford 0 for 3 today. Ground out his last time up in the 7th. That one past the dive of Mydroth, so it's back-to-back singles as the Mariners are now threatening here in this 9th inning.
He goes with the fastball, and this one off the end of the bat turns into gold for Crawford. Not hard hit for him, hit in the perfect spot. Tying and go-ahead run on base. That's a pretty good pitch.
The catcher's challenging the call of ball.
So Drew Romo will challenge ABS, powered by T-Mobile.
I mean, you got 2 in the bank. This one misses.
The call is confirmed. Chicago has 1 challenge remaining.
After the shakeoff, Dominguez on the same page with Drew Romo. And it's now 2-0 here to Rob Refsnyder. He pinch hit back in the 7th and struck out against Sean Newcomb. Another close one misses. It's now 3-0.
That one did miss by a bit more.
A 4-pitch walk, and the bases are now loaded, and we're going to see some activity in the White Sox bullpen.
Zach Bove comes out to have a word. That's to let the pen get loose. After the strikeout of Arozarena, the next 3 reach base. There's Tyler Schweitzer, who pitched in last night's game, getting loosened up in a hurry.
He got up so fast, he didn't even have his hat with him. As the game is on the line, tying run at third, bases loaded.
Young has grounded into just one double play this year. And the second one would look really nice here.
So Leo Rivas will be the pinch runner at first, replacing Ref Snyder. Bottom of the order, Cole Young. Missing inside, ball one. Five straight missing from Sir Anthony Dominguez. It is popped up. Montgomery drifting back, calling for it. Infield fly is called. And the Sox are 1 out away from winning this.
That was Dan Bellino, and as soon as Montgomery was able to square it up looking at the infield, that's when he called the infield fly rule. So the game's on the bases with 1 out to get.
Everybody on their feet at the rate. That's Sir Anthony Dominguez facing Brendan Donovan with 2 outs, bases loaded. Strike one.
Donovan looking for an 0 for 5 day.
Good.
Currently 0 for 4.
Sir Anthony Dominguez, a strike away from getting the save. Oh, 2. Good stop by Romo.
He dropped down, made sure it didn't go through the 5-hole, was able to control it. It's a splitter. And this was a tough block because this one landed well before the plate. Good effort by Romo. Sox are hoping it's a game saver.
1-2 pitch. Broken bat, right side. Murakami steps on the bag, and that's going to do it. Sox come from behind and get the 2-1 win, and will take this series from the Mariners. Southside, stand up.
That's a tough and tight one all the way, and the Sox, maybe the last few years, that one gets away. This year, a completely different team. Dominguez is the closer. He saves his 9th of the year, and the Sox win 2-1, and what a ball game this was.
I'm just soaking up these vibes right now. Everybody stayed in their seat, on their feet for that final out in the 9th inning. A thrilling come from behind win to wrap up this series. We are loving this Sox team this year. It's a final. White Sox beat the Mariners 2-1. For Brooke Fletcher, Connor McKnight, Steve Stone, I'm John Schriffen. Thank you for spending your Sunday with us. Happy Mother's Day. It is time now for a White Sox postgame live presented by Yingling. Let's send it to Chuck and Ozzie. Guys, it's all yours.
More and more demons are being exorcised this season. You're sweating. You're sweating. Listen.
It's 40 degrees here. I'm sweating.
The White Sox, well, you were cold. Some of you now are warmed up. The White Sox last couple of years, 2-11 against the Mariners. 2-11, and they win this series over the Mariners because of what happened here today.
No, with the first game they started, they like, oh no,
Good point.
Not once again. They did, they really played good against the White Sox. First game in on the Sunday. Last couple of games been great. Yesterday, the squad out run today. I love the game. I love those type of games. I don't love the live inning sitting here. Down in the dugout, I can handle it. Sitting up here, it's kind of hard.
Yeah, well, this was a great win for them. Come from behind the way they did it. So coming up on the postgame show, Randall Grichuk. He wasn't even in your headspace because he wasn't even on the team a week ago. He delivered the big home run. Davis Martin, phenomenal again. And then Miguel Vargas, the sac fly, go-ahead run. The Sox win the series. A winning edition of White Sox Postgame Live coming your way